From data collection software to automated farming machinery, farming technology has really transformed over the years with the shift towards more innovative methods. Today we're going to talk about how farmers make big money and save time with new farming technology. Ground soil and water sensors. The use of soil and water sensors has recently been growing in the farming industry. Even small-scale, family-based farmers use these affordable sensors for their land. So, what is it that makes these sensors so popular? These sensors are designed to detect moisture and nutrients levels in the soil. All you have to do is distribute these sensors all over your land for them to detect moisture and nutrient level in your crops. Generally speaking, soil conditions are constantly changing. These changing conditions can be caused by the weather, road density, and even crop patterns, among other things. As soil conditions change, your plant also needs to adapt to these changes, hence soils and moisture sensors can make a huge difference. This way you don't have to rely on a predetermined schedule to provide water and other nutrients to your soil. The results are more efficient, leaving you with a higher and richer yield, as your crops are getting just the right amount of nutrients. Not only does it lower the use of resources and overall cost, but it can also improve the overall environment of your farm by conserving water, limiting erosion, and reducing fertilizer levels in rivers and lakes. Drone monitoring. Another great way to help monitor your crops is by using drone technology. Farmers can use drones to help them define things like crop biomass and plant height. They can also be useful in detecting the presence of weeds. You can even detect water saturation on certain field areas. How cool is that? Drones, when operated locally, can provide useful information at a fast rate. They can help farmers figure out how much resources they may require to properly look after their crops. However, the big downside to using drone technology is that it's not cheap, but it may turn out to be a worthy investment in the long run if you want to produce high-quality yield. Weather tracking. As we briefly mentioned above, the weather can really have quite an impact on the environment your plant's growing in. The weather has an effect on the moisture and nutrient level, which in turn has an overall impact on the plant's growth. Great way to monitoring the weather is by using computerized weather tracking. There are mainly two ways through which you can get your detailed weather updates. First method is by using an onboard and handheld device, while the second is by using offline weather tracking services. Depending on your use, you can either install a weather tracking application on your phone, or you can look into getting a slightly more detailed application. The latter option is great for large-scale farming as it provides a better, more detail-oriented data analysis. What these weather tracking applications do is that they provide farmers with an advanced weather forecast. This means farmers can prepare to tackle various weather conditions like frost, rain, or hail beforehand, allowing them to take precautions to prepare their crops from temperature and other environmental changes. Moreover, farmers can lay out a schedule of sowing, protecting, and harvesting depending on weather conditions to avoid loss of yield. Satellite imaging. Another farming technology that's super popular with farmers these days is satellite imaging. You don't just get a bird's eye view with this technology, but you get proper images in 5-meter pixel resolution or even higher. This allows farmers to examine their crops without having to be there in person. Weekly review of crops through satellite imaging can really help save time and resources. Plus, these days satellite imaging is becoming more and more advanced. This means that it's taking you beyond just satellite images and also providing in-depth data. Director of Business Development at Planet, a global provider of satellite imaging, Zara Khan, says that agriculture has always been well suited to satellite technology. She adds that the difference between then and now is that the data we're generating is able to be integrated into all the additional innovations taking place on the farm. The additional innovations here that Khan is referring to are none other than some of the other agricultural technologies mentioned in this video, like water and soil sensors, computerized machines, and even the Internet of Things. Not only can satellite imaging help you manage a natural environment around your farmland, but it can also provide data to help to estimate how much resources like fertilizers, seeds, and other nutrients they would require. Pervasive automation. Pervasive automation has become quite the buzzword in the agricultural industry. The term refers to any type of technology or machinery that can help reduce operator workload. This can range from various Internet of Things and wireless communication to autonomous vehicles. More advanced types of pervasive automation may also include machine learning, artificial intelligence, and deep learning. This technology allows farmers to scale their operations while being more efficient overall. Farmers can combine various types of automated technology to achieve the best results. Some of the more popular technology includes the use of RTK navigation systems that create optimal seeding and fertilization routes for farmers. Pervasive farming is really a game changer in the agricultural industry, as it provides proper guidance to farmers, resulting in optimum planting, water management, crop rotation, timely harvesting, nutrient management, and pest attacks. Mini chromosome technology. The term mini chromosome technology may sound like a mouthful, but it is perhaps one of the most innovative assets in the farming industry. As the name hints, you can get this technology in a very small package. They're basically small structures found inside a cell that includes genetic material that holds a lot of information. Mini chromosome technology allows agricultural geneticists to add dozens, if not hundreds, of traits to a plant. These traits can range from simple features to more complicated features like drought tolerance and nitrogen. Yep, you're hearing that right. You can imagine how much advanced agriculture can get thanks to this technology. You know, the most remarkable thing about microchromosome technology is that during this process of adding traits, the original genetics of the plant aren't really altered. For instance, herbicide-resistant genetics can be used effectively for weed control, while BIDE genes can be used to help protect the crops from pests and insects. This really helps reduce the use of pesticides that are detrimental to both the environment and to humans. RFID technology. Radio frequency identification, or RFID technology for short, uses digital data encoded in RFID tags, making it easier to be read by radio waves. Think of it as trying to compartmentalize data using various labels and tags. It works in a manner similar to barcoding, but has a slight advantage over the latter in that it can be read without being seen. In simpler terms, for barcodes you need an optical scanner, right? Don't need that for RFID technology. It comprises mostly three parts. You have an RFID tag, an RFID reader, and an antenna. The tag contains a circuit and an antenna that transmit data to the reader in the form of radio waves. The radio waves are then converted into data that's readable on computers and can be stored in a database to be analyzed later. These tags can be used to access information regarding farming yields. This may seem unbelievable, but we're not far off from a market where customers can use this technology to track their yields for purchase from farmers. Vertical farming. Another agricultural technique that's being used more frequently these days is vertical farming. As the name suggests, this technique allows farmers to practice growing by vertically stacking layers of crops. Basically, instead of planting your crops on a single level on the ground, this technique allows farmers to stack their crops vertically, one on top of the other. This method is usually integrated into shipping containers, skyscrapers, and repurposed warehouses. This modern method uses an indoor farming technique referred to as the Controlled Environment Agriculture (CEA) technology. Various factors like temperature, humidity, light, and even the gases in the environment are controlled. It's quite similar to the way greenhouses use metal reflectors and artificial lighting to provide plants with a proper growing environment. With the world's population expected to grow up to 9.7 billion people, space and food may become a major concern if we don't prepare for it beforehand. Given the future concern, vertical farming is a great solution that can help handle the future food demands, while also tackling the space issue. One of the best things about this method of farming is that weather conditions don't have to impact on the crops, as they're already growing in a controlled environment. Plus, not only do crops require less water in this condition, but are also grown more organically. Exposure to chemicals, pests, and diseases is also reduced. Unfortunately, this method does require quite a lot of financial investment. Not only will it require higher labor costs, but pollination will also be quite expensive. Plus, as the method requires quite a lot of power, it'd be a huge loss in the face of a power outage. Agriculture technology has come a long way and is constantly evolving. New research and farming techniques are being incorporated to ensure the best yield while also saving a lot of time and resources. That wraps up this video. See you in the next one.